Hello and welcome back to another one of the videos to help you learn some Welsh. So in this playlist I've decided that it might be useful to put some Welsh idioms or sayings in. They're quick wins in Welsh because we use them in everyday conversations, and with these videos I'll assume that you already have some Welsh knowledge and have had some practice in. If you haven't, if you're a complete beginner, please look at some of the other videos in the playlist which kind of start from scratch. The way I work is that you can hopefully hear me fairly well, and you should be able to see me at the bottom of your screen, so you can kind of see what my mouth is doing. And as well as that, you should be able to see that you can see exactly what I can see on my screen, although I can't see it very well because I haven't got my glasses on. I can see it better now. So what I do is I bring up a word processing document and I type everything as we go so that you have it there. So not like a PowerPoint where it, once it's been on, it's gone. It's going to be there all the time, so you could scroll back on the video. Please do subscribe though, because it's really important that I get some feedback about whether or not I'm doing things that you want to learn. I mean, I started all this because of coronavirus lockdown. It gives me something to do and hopefully can help somebody, so please do comment once you've subscribed. So today we're going to look at a few sayings, some idioms in Welsh. They are very useful because you could start by constructing a large sentence in Welsh where actually a simple idiom can speak volumes and be very descriptive. So I thought we'd look at a few of them today. So the first one we're going to look at is Rhoi'r ffidil and Tour. Rhoi'r ffidil and Tour. I shall type it on here and we'll go through it. Rhoi'r ffidil and Tour. The Tour here has a little Tour bach on it, but on my computer I don't know how to do that. I'm not that clever. Rhoi'r ffidil yn Tour, which literally translates to put the fiddle in the roof, which kind of doesn't mean anything, but the reason we would use that in context is if you've completely had enough of something or you've given up. You know, you've kind of had a guts full of it. So rather than saying that, you know, I've had enough of this, you could just say, fi wedi rhoi'r ffidil yn Tour. So if you've had enough of learning Welsh and you think, oh, it's too hard, fi wedi rhoi'r ffidil yn Tour. I've given up. It's just too hard. It's just too much. So that is a really useful idiom to use, and that can be used, as I said, in conversations or very, you know, on a daily basis. So let's have a look at another one. So for instance, say if you're going to there's a flash sale in a shop or something and it's crazy in there, it's manic in there, there's customers everywhere, there's items, clothes on the floor, people are trying to scrabble to buy things, the staff don't know what they're doing. To construct that in a sentence would take a bit of work. However, you could just use shavins. Shavins. It's very simple, it's very easy. The literal translation to that would mean a shaving shop, but the shaving would be as in a carpenter, I guess. So it kind of describes that, you know, somebody's planing the wood, all the wood shavings are everywhere, so it's a mess, it's disorganized. So to use shavins is a really useful term. You can use that, you know, if you went to the airport, maes awyr in Welsh, maes awyr. If you went to the airport, maes awyr, and all the flights were cancelled and nobody knew where they were going, the check-in was queues in the check-in, everybody was, cases and suitcases and luggage were everywhere, nobody knew where to go, no announcements. you could spend a long time creating all of those sentence structures, where actually you could just say Rhoi'r maes awyr and shop shavins, and that would create that image of chaos, really. So that kind of, I will get rid of that because I don't want to confuse you. So it kind of means chaos, mess, no idea what was going on there, really. That's what that means. So shop shavins, very useful. Okay, let's look at another one. Kind of apt at the time of doing this. I'm in the middle, and we are all in the middle of the coronavirus outbreak. But people often say, you know, oh, things will get better. Once this is all over, we can kind of see some better days coming. And to say that in Welsh, you could create a sentence, but again, a saying or an idiom would be fe ddaw hael ar fryn. Fe ddaw hael ar fryn. Fe ddaw hael ar fryn. And the literal translation of that is there'll be sunshine over the hill. There'll be sunshine over the hill. And it just means, you know, things will get better. So rather than saying, you know, in the future things will improve for us all, rather than saying that, you could just say fe ddaw hael ar fryn, and people understand that you are talking about things will improve in the future. Things aren't going to be like this forever. So that kind of means that things will get better. That can mean in any context, you know, financial difficulties, or like we're in now with the coronavirus lockdown. You can use that all the time. Things will get better. Let's do a couple more. This is a useful one. Ar biga'r draen. Ar biga'r draen. Ar biga'r draen. The translation for that means, I'm doing these from my head, so it means on the tips of the thorns. So the kind of, you know, the end of the thorn, the tips of the thorn, ar biga'r draen. And you would say that if you're, it means kind of anticipation, kind of on tenterhooks. Yes, that anticipation of waiting for something, or waiting for some news. You'd say that. So you could say, I was waiting for the news. Roeddwn i'n disgwyl am y newyddion. But it's much easier to say, roeddwn i ar biga'r draen. I was on tenterhooks. I couldn't wait to that anticipation. So ar biga'r draen is another good one to use. Let's look at one more. A gyntaf, not, there's a mutation there. A cyntaf i'r felin. Geith falu. A cyntaf i'r felin geith falu. A cyntaf i'r felin geith falu. Literally, the literal translation for that is quite an odd one. I think it must be a fairly old saying. It basically means the first to get to the mill will break the and I think it refers historically to the grain to make flour, I think. But it basically means you would use that in the context of the first past the post, the first one who gets there. You know, the first one to get there will win it. So if you, again, we go back to that shop where the sale is on and there's manic chaos, it's shop shavins in this shop, and there's one really good item that's reduced, rather than saying, oh, you know, I want to get that because I want to be the first person to get that at such a good price, you just use, well, y cyntaf i'r felin geith falu. So the first one to get there will get it. So that's that idiom. So we'll just quickly recap, because they're doing all these videos recap. Rhoi'r ffidil yn y to, which means you give up, you've had enough. The literal meaning is to put a fiddle in the roof. So you've had enough of all this. You might be doing driving lessons and you haven't passed your test for the 12th time. Oh, I've given up. I've had enough of doing this. Rhoi'r ffidil yn y to. You might have gone to a meeting and nobody had planned anything at that meeting, and nobody knew what they were doing or what you were supposed to be doing. Rather than saying all of that, you can just say, oh, oedd hi'n shop shavins. It was a shaving shop. Oedd hi'n shop shavins. When you're hoping that things will get better in time, things will improve for people, for your situation, for any kind of hope of improvement, there'll be sunshine over that hill. Fe ddaw hael ar fryn. Fe ddaw hael ar fryn. You're on tenterhooks, you're waiting for that kind of news, the anticipation of wanting to know something. You might be, I don't know, a film buff. You can't wait for the next film to come out, some big movie to come out, and that anticipation, you could burst with that anticipation. Ro'n ni ar bigair draen. Ar bigair draen. And the last one we're doing today, y cyntaf i'r felin geith falu. So you're going to this movie that you're going to watch. You might be wanting to watch it in the premiere. You want to be the first person to have that ticket. So the first one who gets it wins, really. It's kind of what the translation of that is. So I hope they're useful. They're really quick wins to use in daily conversation. I'll put more of them on, and also I shall be putting some more videos on some of the other playlists. Please like and subscribe if you can. Please be kind and constructive. I'm just doing this to try and help. And yes, we shall do some more in one of the other videos. Felly, tan tro nesaf. Until next time, hwyl fawr. Goodbye.